What is going on in Canada right now is absurd. And the fact that our own government is masking it as, a housing crisis, side effect of global inflation, all the while allowing telecom companies to buy each other out and form monopolies, allowing them to dictate prices across the country, ever increasing the cost, all the while throwing their hands up and saying, oh, we can't do anything about the banks, but offering absolutely no solution to any of the problems. I have seen a lot of videos recently come across my feed, being that I am Canadian, of people just beside themselves, bawling their eyes out because they don't know how they are going to afford the basic necessities of survival. Food and a roof over their head, clothing for their children. The most recent interest rate hike from the banks is deplorable. Truly, truly disgusting. And for the life of me, and I'm not an economist, but I do like to follow several creators who do economic content. I find this stuff kind of fascinating. I do not understand in any capacity what they are hoping to achieve here. And this has recently hit even my own family. My mother is a senior. She's retired. So her income is a very fixed income. And a lot of that income is dependent on the fact that she is not working. Things like her prescription costs, the amount that she's allotted month to month. All of this is contingent on the fact that she doesn't work. For her own interest rate hike, her mortgage payments have gone up over $400 a month on a fixed income where she can't work, or she'll end up getting even less than what she started with. And here's the part that doesn't make sense to me, because my mother is not alone in this. My own mortgage payments have gone up. The videos that I have seen online are of mortgage payments that have all gone up. I need to understand what career, what kind of work in this economy could afford an instantaneous $400 hike in their mortgage. If she were renting, and say this was a landlord asking for more money, there are literal laws in place in the landlord tenancy agreements across this country, province to province, that do not allow these kinds of hikes to happen because they have been deemed unreasonable. And I mean, morals and ethics aside, I think we can pretty much put morals and ethics outside the house when we're talking about banks. What do they expect people to do? Move? While they're all toting the company line that we have a housing shortage? Get higher paying jobs. What job could I conceivably achieve that would pay me an extra $400 a month? Because I'm telling you, it's not teaching. It's certainly not my 9 to 5 in the horticultural industry. Employers are not offering that kind of money. Least of all to new employees. So the idea of get a better paying job is absolutely absurd. So when our government has these expectations that are so outside of what is realistically feasible, what are they hoping to achieve? Forcing people out of their homes with outrageous hikes to their mortgage payment doesn't benefit anything. It does not improve the housing market, does not improve our lack of housing situation, because in this economy right now, even if, say, I were to move, the housing costs are so exponentially higher than they were even 5 years ago that selling my house would almost definitely only get me the same kind of costs, but in a smaller home? In a home that doesn't accommodate my family? Where am I supposed to cut back? I don't have a fancy car. I don't buy fancy clothes. I can't lower my grocery costs because all of the grocery chains are owned by the same people. And we know that more companies are doing as Dempster did and making agreements with competitive companies in order to keep prices high. So if as a government, you are essentially in charge of a country, of a society, of a community, And you are only making decisions that hurt the bulk of the community. And I'm saying this from a place of being like bipartisan. It doesn't matter who's in power, whether it's conservatives, whether it's liberals, whether it's NDP. They are all cogs in the same machine. The machine we call the system. None of which, no party in Canada has even come out and admit that it's the entire system that needs rewriting. They sit there and go, oh, well, with these few minor tweaks, we can make it better. Really? Can you make it $400 a month better? Because I'd like to see that. And not only that, with inflation going up, housing costs going up, interest rates going up, what happens to the most vulnerable of the community? My neighbor is a woman who is on permanent disability. Do you know how much her disability payment has gone up in the last 2 years? $300. The woman is physically incapable of maintaining work. She is disabled. What happens to her when her mortgage goes up another $300, $400, $500 a month? Where is she supposed to go? She lives in this home because she can't manage stairs. Where is she supposed to go? Canada is in an active depression. This isn't simply a recession. This is a whole depression. But the reason that we can't call it that is because the 1%ers and major companies within our country aren't really feeling that heat. Every one of them still sees massive annual profits. Look at the botched interview by the government to Galen Weston with his profit surplus. He's not feeling the heat. Meanwhile, a single mother of 2 is skipping meals just so that she can afford to have her children fed. Because education funding doesn't allot for kids needing to be fed. And it begs the question, what is the end goal if by the time that we reach that goal, there's no one left to benefit from it?